What if I told you that a single moment in time, just one ordinary day on the calendar, could turn into a global wave of love so powerful, it literally changes lives? Not metaphorically, not symbolically, actually changes lives. Because that's exactly what happened when Kim Seok-jin, the man the world knows as Jin from BTS, reached his 12,200th day of existence. Now pause for a second. 12,200 days. That's over 3 decades of memories, of growth, of quiet struggles no one saw, of dreams that somehow found their way onto the biggest stages in the world. And on April 29th, fans didn't just remember that number. They felt it. Across continents, across time zones, across languages, millions of people gathered in one place, the voting platform Koedol, with one shared goal: to celebrate Jin in the most meaningful way they could. And what happened next wasn't just support. It was a phenomenon. 56,965,029 hearts. Let that sink in. 56 million individual taps, clicks, choices. Each one representing someone somewhere in the world who paused their day to say, "You matter." That overwhelming wave of love didn't just push Jin to #1 in the male individual rankings. It unlocked something far deeper. It crowned him a donation fairy. And not for the first time. Not even close. This was his 27th time earning that title. 27 separate moments where admiration turned into action, where celebration turned into compassion. Because on Choedol, reaching that milestone means something very real. A donation is made in the artist's name. This time, 500,000 won was sent to the Malal Welfare Foundation, an organization dedicated to supporting vulnerable communities. And when you add it all up, Jin's name is now connected to a total of 13.5 million won in donations. Think about how rare that is. An artist whose birthday milestones don't just trend, they give back. And maybe that's why this moment felt different, because it wasn't just about numbers, it was about intention. While the votes were climbing higher and higher, something equally powerful was happening outside the app. Social media became a living, breathing celebration. Fans designed banners, wrote heartfelt letters, shared memories from concerts, moments that made them laugh, moments that made them cry. Hashtags like 2200 Days with Jin and 2200 Days of Seok-jin's Earth Landing didn't just trend, they told a story. A story of people who found comfort in his voice, strength in his words, joy in his presence. And as those messages spread across the world, one thing became undeniable. This isn't just a fan base, it's a community built on emotion, loyalty, and connection. But here's where it all comes full circle. Because while millions were celebrating him, Jin was out there doing what he does best, standing under blinding stage lights in front of oceans of fans as part of the ongoing BTS World Tour Arirang. From the very first show in Goyang to the explosive energy of the North American tour, Jin has been delivering something more than performances. Yes, his visuals are unforgettable. Yes, his live vocals are steady, emotional, and powerful. But what truly sets him apart is something harder to describe. It's the way he looks into the crowd like he's searching for every single person. It's the way his voice carries not just melody, but sincerity. It's the way he communicates, not just through words, but through presence. You don't just watch Jin perform, you feel him. And maybe that's why moments like this keep happening. Because when someone gives that much of themselves to the world somehow finds a way to give it back. Bigger, louder, more meaningful each time. So now the question isn't just about records or rankings or even donations. The real question is this: how many artists can turn 12,200 days of life into millions of hearts and then transform those hearts into something that makes the world just a little bit kinder?